Hey everyone, it's FB here with a cast of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 13. The cup is going to start in just a few minutes, but before that, let's take a look at the format of the cup. So it's played in two phases, time attack and knockout. First, we have 30 minutes of time attack, where the top 50% of the players will advance to the knockout phase, where the last two players from each round will get eliminated until top 4 or 5, depending on how many players qualified from the time attack. And after that, it will change to only the last player getting knocked out until we have determined a winner. Only one track will be played in this cup as usual, and this time the track is Kanan'Tabáa by Guga Ruz. And the world record is 456.072 by Narcor, and I've been informed here that this time is done by a shortcut, so I'm not sure if it's the official world record or not. And before we start, here's also a look at footage from the previous Night Cup that was played on the map Adimus by Erizel. In the last round, Supernoob and Kilburn were dead even all the way to the very end, with Supernoob able to take the win with just a few hundreds in front of Kilburn, which is pretty noteworthy considering the map was about 5 minutes in length. Third place behind Supernoob and Kilburn went to Deuce. Alright, let's bring it in-game as we are about to start the first phase, which is of course time attack. We still have about 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock before we'll start, but in the meantime we can take a look at a couple of players that are driving tonight, and I believe Supernoob, who is the defending champion, will be participating again, so we'll see if he can take it for the second Night Cup in a row. And also Kilburn is on the server, so he's gonna also be driving. See him warming up right now on this track, which features a lot of these rock blocks, which can be a bit bumpy, and really gotta make sure that you learn the surface of the blocks. And as I see Kilburn taking a different route than I did in practice, so that's good to know. That explains why I was so slow at this section of the map. Who else do we have? We have Chaosan driving, often participates in the Night Cup, and Narcor, who I mentioned, got the world record. Although with a shortcut. See here, Supernoob I believe got the fastest time without a shortcut with 508.647. Besides those players, we have Lars driving, and let's see if we have any other player who participates often in the Night Cup. I did see Natella, yes, here he is. Natella, who took 4th in the last Night Cup. And also Zombie is driving, who took 5th in the 12th edition of the Night Cup. As we see, only a few seconds left on the clock, so we are about to start the first phase, the time attack. And it's going to be taking place over 30 minutes. And as I mentioned in the start, the top 50% of the players will advance to the knockout phase. And if it's an uneven number, we will round up, so say there's 15 players to set a time, then top 8 will advance. But we have more than 15 players though, quite a good number I think this time. As we load the map. Suppose we can follow Supernoob, who again is the defending champion. So see how many players we have this time, looks to be bit over 20, 25 or something like that. So see how many of them will be able to set a time, but off we go live into the time attack. And we see the map starting with a couple of balance acts in a row. You really gotta be careful that you don't have too much speed as you go over these balance acts. These ones in the start aren't too difficult, but then there's one coming up here soon that is a bit harder than those. Here it is. First a right turn and then much more narrow balance act, but Supernoob will get through. As we continue over a small bridge part, and then we have this rock section of the map. Can be a bit bouncy, hard to control your vehicle, but Super Noob, as you can see, does a really good job of it. And also by keeping his speed here in the uphill. Did not get too much speed though in that last uphill. Good landing as well, as we then descends down the rocks and enters this temple building. And Super Noob will go for that route that I did in practice. I guess you can go for different ways, which is often a possibility on these kind of RPG maps, which I find pretty cool. Alright, Super Noob then going up the stairs, but getting stuck on the fence. So it's gonna be very slow for Super Noob going up the stairs. Gets stuck again here with his back wheels, and he decides to retire. So let's follow someone else who is driving. Here is Staroid. Seems to be the furthest into the track, as we then go down below this temple. It's a really cool track, again made by Gugaruz, called Kanan'Tabáa. And if you play it yourself, definitely make sure to also have the custom music on, which adds to the experience. So Staroid from Team Exotic is about 2 minutes into the map, trying to set a time in the time attack. You see to the right that the players have 30 minutes to do so. So we have this tunnel part. And Staroid continues to keep a pretty good pace. This part I found myself a bit difficult. A bit of a risk that you will land on your back, but Staroid will avoid it. And then you see the cut there through the fence at the last part. So we once again go underground, passing a couple of glowing mushrooms. Don't touch those, we'll get dizzy otherwise. Staroid keeps good momentum here. It's a tight turn to the left there. So we have a small outside part once again before we go into the temple. Passing a couple of tables. This part, exactly here where Staroid makes a small jump, I sometimes got a slowdown myself when practicing the track. Now we're entering a pretty cool track. We'll see if we'll have to change to replay maybe. No, I don't see it, but the players... Okay, here we go. So we do see this the scenery where you escape the temple, I suppose, and it blows up. At least that's my... that's what I assume is going on, as Staroid then misses the jump to the right and will go to the start. So let's switch to another player. Chaos Hand has just passed that part. See if he can make the jump. Yes, Chaos Hand will be able to get through to the next part. And he is pretty close to finishing. We also see a couple of other players in front of him, Zombie and Sky. Can switch to Zombie here, I think. Or wait, Sky should be the furthest. Yes, Sky is the furthest right now as he drops down. And soon we'll enter the last part of the track. First a ramp section here, hitting the wall, or the ceiling rather. And then here's the last part, a huge jump followed by a water bounce. Sky who plays for water bottles, so it's pretty fitting. Gets a decent landing there, and then just needs to ascend here to the top. And here's the last part of the track, narrow section. You are forced to hit the walls there, I think. And Sky will finish first with a time of 5:29.17. That seems like a decent time. And he says actually it's a personal best. So Sky, who isn't an RPG player, he's more known as a tech player, is seemingly pretty well prepared on this map. Alright, so we got about 24 minutes left of this time attack phase. Again, top 50% of the players finishing will qualify to the knockout phase. And so far we have 6 players who have finished. Kilburn actually taking over first place with a time of 5:08.91. I think that will be enough to qualify. I would be surprised if it wasn't, since it's actually really close to Super Noob's time, which I guess should be regarded as the world record, since Narcor's time is using a pretty significant shortcut, which isn't allowed, by the way, in the Nightcup. And then, Narcor actually improving or taking over first place. 4:59.15. I assume that is without the cut. He's gonna go away from keyboard as well in the chat, so I guess he's feeling confident that that will be enough to qualify. Chaosan then at third place, 5:16.35. Gugarus, the mapper himself, at fourth, 5:24.73. And then we got Maurice89 playing as well. I missed that in the warm-ups. Maurice89, who has won the Nightcup once before, couple of editions ago. As we see Super Noob going up to fourth place, 5:23.43. Who else do we have that have set a time? Dudeka at 7th, 5:28. Then Sky, as mentioned, 5:29. Down to 8th place already. Maybe it won't be enough actually, we'll see. Zombie has also set a time at 9th, 5:30. Then Nickno is at 10th with 5:36. Lars at 11th, 5:45. Tom at 12th, 5:53. Sorrow at 13th, 5:55. Tommy at 14th, now at 15th, 6:11. Then Wasker at 16th, 6:20, and that is the last player. So right now we got 16 players who have set a time. That means that top 8 is right now advancing to the knockout, and that means Dodeka is the last player in. But there's a bunch of players who still haven't set a time. Lots of exotic players especially. See if we have anyone close to finishing. Eternity seems to be on a decent run. And yeah, it does seem like maybe low 5 minute will be what's required here. So Sky may have to improve his time further as Eternity gets stuck here, has to back it up. Gets through though in his second attempt. Narcor still in the lead, only one under 5 minutes. But of course, in the knockout, which will follow, it's not really about setting the fastest time. Instead, it's just about surviving and avoid last place or second to last place until top 4 or 5. And then the very last round is the one you want to win when it's only 2 players left. And it's actually pretty noteworthy that in the last 2 Nightcups, the very last round has been extremely close. First in edition 11, where Bren and Clem had a really close final round, with Bren winning it at the very end of the track, with Clem clipping a fence. And then in edition 12, Super Noob and Kilburn also had a very close round, only a few hundreds between them in the end. And this was really back and forth as well. Kilburn had the lead for the majority of that last round, as Eternity falls down. Gotta be careful about those rocks. Alright, so see if anyone else is close to finishing. Chaosan seems to be the closest. He's currently at third place, 5:16.35, but seems to not be satisfied with that, and that may be a wise mindset to have. Because there seems to be a lot of players that have prepared on this map, just based on the times. See how many players we have now who have finished. Oh, we are up to 18. A couple of more, 2 more rather. As Chaos Hand is getting closer to the end. We have also a couple of late players who joined the servers, but I don't think can play, or maybe you can, not sure. You have to sign up though on ESL's website, and then you'll get an email with the password. Alright, here's Chaos Hand, goes for the respawn. You can avoid respawning there, but it's pretty difficult, I think. See if this will be an improvement from Chaos Hand. I think it will. May actually even be a time under 5 minutes. Maybe not. He got 10 seconds to reach the finish line, so it's not going to be under 5 minutes, but should be an improvement though with a couple of seconds. See if he will pass Kilburn. I'm gonna say no to that. I think it's too late, but still should be an improvement here for Chaos Hand as he goes through the last stretch. 5:15.25, so not that big of a improvement, but still an improvement from Chaos Hand. Here is actually not sure how to call this player. Wait, maybe I can do. Nope, I can't see his name there. It's Best P44, I think. Oh, gets stuck here at the end. The key here is to hold left on the analog stick or on the keyboard as you go through that part, and that will guarantee you getting through. So Best P44 will take 13th place with that 5:50.54. We are up to 19 players now who have set a time. Alright, Tommy for IGN will also finish. Still, no, he got a time actually, 6:11. Will this be an improvement? Yes, it will. 5:48 by Tommy. Goes up to 13th place with that. Still the same top three. Narcor at first, Kilburn at second, and Chaos Hand at third. Natella has gone up to 4th. Then Supernoob at 5th, Gugurus at 6th, Morris 89 at 7th still, Dodeka at 8th, Sky at 9th place now, Zombie at 10th, Nickno at 11th, Lars at 12th, Tommy at 13th, Best P44 at 14th, Tom at 15th, Zorro at 16th, Stereo Gang at 17th, Wasker at 18th, and then Blink B at last place, 19th position. And here's Gugurus, the mapper himself. Created this map in the RPG title pack, which you can download from the in-game store of Mania Planet. And yeah, Bren is also on the server. But I don't know if he's gonna play or not. Maybe he is actually. No, he's not. He's in spec mode, so Bren not participating as Gugurus will retire. Let's go to Marius89. Seems to be on a deep attempt here. Again, won the Nightcup a couple of editions ago. I can't remember exactly which one it was. May also have been on the podium before that. Known as a very all-round player, maybe one of the most all-round players in Trackmania. Good in all the environments, all the styles as well. Oh, as Marius89 will also miss that jump. I didn't really feel like that one was too difficult. Marius though says he got a bug in the chat, so maybe he had a slowdown in the landing and that's why he couldn't make the jump. So that's a bit unfortunate. Marius89 though still qualified at 7th place. Still 19 players. So I guess that means top 10 advancing right now. Zombie at last place. Last player to advance rather, Zombie, who took 5th last edition and also has won the Nightcup before. Take a look at some stats here. The player that has won the Nightcup the most amount of times is Mario. He's won it 4 times in total. And then Kilburn, Sanderpie, Zombie, Marius89, Bren and Supernoob all share 2nd place with 1 win each. The player that has been on the podium the most amount of time though is Kilburn with 6 appearances. 1 time 1st place, 3 times at 2nd place and then 2 times at 3rd place. See if he will be able to improve those stats after this Nightcup. Alright, Zombie is out of the tunnel. Trying to improve his time. He's at 11th now. Oh, but yeah, so he's not qualified right now. We got 10 20 players with time, so Zombie needs to improve his time here. And we got 14 minutes left on the clock, so he won't get too many more attempts. The track is over 5 minutes in length as well, so once you've reached that mark in the countdown, then you better be on a good run if you need to still improve your time. Zombie would, I'm sure, love to be able to improve his time right now, as we still have Narcor, Kilburn and Chaosand at top 3. Zombie getting stuck, not having enough speed to make that jump to the other side. But at least the checkpoint was really close by, so it could have been much worse, because the checkpoints are usually pretty far away from each other. So if you crash or get stuck like that just before a checkpoint, then you can obviously lose a lot of time if you have to respawn to the most recent checkpoint that you crossed. So I think Zombie can still set a decent time here if he drives well through these last parts. And we see the players also respawning here, because otherwise you run the risk of getting stuck on the walls, and then you get this screen. Actually, did the Zombie... Oh, he's still driving. I think that's a bug with the media tracker. It may not have been configured for spectate mode, because that's the screen you get if you hit the wall as a player. But Zombie did not. He is continuing to drive here. See about this landing. Sometimes you get a slowdown there as well, since you get a bit of an awkward landing sometimes. But Zombie avoids that. As he falls down, will respawn. A bit of a slow respawn by the looks of it. Will this be an improvement for Zombie? Down to 13th place now. You will get maybe a couple of more attempts, but this, hopefully for Zombie, will be an improvement. I think since he is still driving even after that respawn, he may actually be on a good time, because otherwise there's not really much of a point. You may as well just respawn and try again. But here comes Zombie through the end. And what will his time be? It will be 5:13.18 despite that respawn. Zombie up to 4th place. And I think I dare to say that that will be enough to qualify. And he's not driving anymore either, so yeah, I think he is feeling pretty confident. Oh, we are up to 22 players now, so top 11 qualified right now. Dudica is at last place, so he, of course, feels the pressure here, needs to improve his time maybe, unless this time 5:28.47 will be enough. You see that Sky with that time in the start is no longer qualified. He's down to 12th place, so he also needs to improve his time. Lots of other players, including Lars, who is right now at 15th place. Oh, getting stuck here. Also go for the respawn. If you have a lot of precision, I'm sure you can go without respawning there, but pretty difficult. See the water bounce once again in action. A pretty cool trick in this game. Don't see it too often in competitions, but in RPG maps especially, it's maybe a bit more suited. Whoa! Lars going a lot to the left there. I guess that makes sense actually, because you don't want too much speed anyway as you go down these stairs, or these rocks rather, so maybe Lars is doing that correctly. Oh, almost didn't have to respawn, but we'll still go for it. Just got the ending left now for Lars. Needs to improve his time as we have less than 10 minutes to go of this time attack phase. Top 50% will qualify. See about that landing. No, what a terrible landing for Lars. That cannot be much worse. I don't know how that happened actually. Maybe he should have tried to land a bit more to the left. Anyway, let's see though. Will this still be an improvement for Focus on Lars? Yes, it will. 5:27.05. Lars up to 11th place. And he will take over that last spot with it. But it could have been a much better time had he not backed up or backed lost so much time there in the end, because he definitely lost a couple of seconds with that bad landing there. So that means that Marius89 is right now the one closest to advance, but he could maybe get into the top 50% here. 519.63 by Marius89, and that will bring him up to 7th place. That may be enough for Marius89. Still got 22 players, so Sorrow is now the last player to advance, and Lars is now once again outside of the top 50%. So he will keep on driving. 8 minutes left on the clock. See if you have any player close to finishing. Here's Nickno through the first water bounce. Currently at 15th place, 529.55. Needs to pass Sorrow, 525.15. Less than 5 seconds away from that. Can he get a good last section of the map? Then maybe this will be enough for Nickno. And once he finishes this, he will still get at least one more good attempt. But this may be pretty exciting. I'm not sure who will qualify. Lots of players that are really close to each other in time. As Nickno keeps respawning for some reason. That looked really odd. I think maybe he hit the wall to the right. Oh, as he decides to respawn again. A disaster here for Nickno. Makes it here in his 3rd attempt. But that may cost him a lot. He keeps on driving though, but I'm not so sure if this will be an improvement, as Chaos Hand will improve his time, 509.50, and also Tommy, 529.22. But that's only enough to pass Nickno up to 15th place. Ooh, that landing did not look pretty. But Nickno will keep on driving. Gotta beat Sorrow, 525.15. Oh, as Nickno gets stuck and he decides to retire. Soon, only about 6 minutes left on the clock. Nickno starting what could be his last attempt. Still 22 players, so Sorrow is the last player right now to qualify. Lars, the closest one to him. As we see the Dank Raptor setting a time of 6:10.35. But that's not enough to be on the first page even. So the time to beat right now is 525.15. Dudeka is on a good attempt perhaps, at 13th place, only a few seconds away. As he also decides to retire here. It's actually a pretty narrow section there, so you gotta make sure that you don't hit the walls of the sides there. And Dudeka will make it here. Oh, I don't know. Will that be enough actually? He may actually not have enough speed. Dudeka falls down in the water. He'll get one more attempt. 5:25 left on the clock. That was really unfortunate for Dudeka. Alright, let's switch to Lars, who is also really close to advance, only 2 seconds behind Sorrow. And this is Lars' last attempt. Can he make it in his last attempt? That is the question. We got lots of other players also still driving. Let's take an overview look here. Let's go back to Lars though. Sorrow is still driving, also on a deep attempt. Lots can still happen here. As Blinkby writes in the chat, that means that he won't be able to improve his time. We'll finish at 22nd place. Is there anyone who hasn't set a time? Yes, there are 2 players, Matt and Bad Lulu. And okay, it doesn't look like they are still driving. So this seems to be it for Lars. He needs to beat Sorrow. Make sure that he has enough speed to make that jump. Get Gets a bit stuck here on the wall, but not too big of a disaster for Lars. Could be way worse than that. We also got Sorrow driving here in his last attempt, not too far behind Lars actually. And also best P44 who is at 18th place. Getting stuck here though in the wall. Tom is driving, but he's at 9th place, should be enough I think. This might be it actually. Lars, the only player maybe who still got the chance to qualify. Can he make it in his last attempt? As he escapes the temple for the last time. Supernoob will take over 2nd place, 501.15. But that's not too interesting right now, since we know he will already qualify. Here's Lars. Enters the speed boost. Once again goes a lot to the left. Good landing. Let's see about the rocks now. Gotta take it careful here. Oh, hits the wall. But can still continue driving. Almost fell on his back there. That was really close by Lars. Will reach the checkpoint. Can he avoid the walls here? Will he have enough speed to make it? Yes, he will. Lars still on what could be an improvement. Needs to beat Sorrow's 525.15 at 11th place. 2 seconds away from it. Here we go. Last water bounce for Lars. Oh, did he go too much to the left? No, he won't. And that's a good landing. Great landing, in fact, from Lars as he goes up the stairs here in the end. Will this be enough? You also got Sorrow still driving. Lars through the last section. Entering the stretch. What will his time be? 521.22. Lars goes up to 10th place. And Sorrow right now outside. But here he is. And he will also improve his time. 522.29. Sorrow back to 11th place. And right now Gugarus is eliminated. Wow, what an ending. Is there anyone driving here who can still get into the top 50%? Tom is at 9th place, so he's gonna make it no matter what. Maurice9, 7th place, should also be enough. Nickno is still driving, he's at 16th place. So Nickno perhaps could maybe get into top 11. As we see both Maurice89 and Tom improving their times. Nickno with a bad landing. Hits the wall here. As we also see best P44 reaching the ending. Will this be an improvement? Let's see. It's not an improvement. Let's go back to Nickno. No, Nickno has retired. Is anyone still driving? Or is this going to be the result? I think that's gonna be it. So we, I believe, have our results now. Yes, all players are standing still, and we got 22 players that set a time. That means that top 11 will qualify. Lars improved his time in the end, and that actually knocked out Sorrow from top 11. But then Sorrow, few seconds behind Lars, improved his time as well, and with that knocked out Gugarus instead. So the top 11 players that will reach the knockout phase are Narkor at first place, Supernoob, Kilburn, Chaosan, Zombie, Tom, Storoid, Marius89, Natella, Lars, and Sorrow. So that's gonna be the end of the time attack phase, and I believe we'll have a 5-minute break now until the knockout phase will start. So in the meantime, I'll take a small break here, and I'll be right back with the conclusion of this RPG Nightcup. Alright, then I'm back with the knockout phase. So we had 11 players advancing from the time attack phase. Those were Narkor, Supernoob, Kilburn, Chaosand, Zombie, Tom, Staroid, Maurice89, Nutella, Lars, and Sorrow at last place. And again, as I mentioned in the start, the knockout phase is played in rounds mode. The last player, or the two last players of each round, will get eliminated until top 4 this time, and then we'll switch to the last player, so one player only getting eliminated until we have only one player left standing, and that will be the winner of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 13. And looks like we're still not live. We are waiting for one player. Lars is AFK. So still not live. And looking at this list of players, we have a couple of ones that have won the Nightcup in the past, including Supernoob, Kilburn, Zombie, and Maurice89. I think those are the ones, yes. So we got 4 players that has won the Nightcup before, but they've all only won it once before. So if one of them wins now, it would be their second time. As we still are waiting for Lars to get back on the server. And yeah, take it a bit easy in the chat, please. Alright, not sure actually what's going on here. I think he may have had his game crash, perhaps? Not sure. I do seem to recall though that it's taken like forever for Lars to get back on the server. If his game crashes, so it may take a couple of more minutes before he's back. So in the meantime, oh, there we go. Lars is now on the server, so it shouldn't be long before we start. Alright, the good luck have funs are being written again, so we should be good to go here for the first round of the knockout phase. Now, it's not about setting the fastest time, it's more about avoiding getting last or second to last, as Lars is not driving in the start. So I wonder if we are live. I don't think so, since he writes thanks for waiting in the chat. Yeah, he's still not driving actually. Yeah, I think it should be restarted because Lars was not aware that it was live. So we'll have to somehow get these players to notice that, but they may not actually play with the HUD on, so... And Supernoob I think is the only admin. Okay, Supernoob now seeing it as well, so we'll have the forced round end. Alright, and now it should be live. Hopefully. Alright, all 11 players are off. And who's gonna make the first blunder? Let's see here if anyone's falling down. Oh! Doesn't look like it actually. I think all 8 players may have actually made it. No, wait! Maurice89 is forced to respawn in the start. So right now, Maurice89 facing elimination. But the thing about these kind of RPG cups is that you shouldn't really give up just because you respawn once. You could very easily see a player ahead of you also respawning, and that could cost them a lot of seconds depending on where they had to respawn. So even though Maurice89 is off to a bad start, I'm sure he knows that he shouldn't really stress too much about it yet, because this is still very early on in the round, so he could definitely still come back from this. And then we also have Chaos Hand a bit behind in the start. So right now Chaos Hand and Marius89 are facing elimination. See Tom, I believe, also a bit behind the pack at the top. Narcor and Supernoob first and second. Not the best landing there from Chaos Hand. Oh, has Marius89 respawned again? I think he may actually have respawned again. So that doesn't bode too well for the former Nightcup winner Marius89. This may actually be too difficult for him to come back. As we see Lars now taking over second to last. Chaos and actually also passing Zombie. So Lars now also getting knocked out, but he's not too far behind Chaos and Zombie especially, so see if he can catch up to them. And then Marius89 now ascending the stairs. Actually maybe not too far behind, so maybe there's still a small chance there for Marius89. Still pretty early on here in the round. So Lars trying to catch up now to Zombie and Chaos Hand. As Chaos Hand got a bit stuck there in the stairs. Still keeping a good pace. Let's go to him. And then where's Lars? He may have lost a bit more time here by the looks of it. And at the top is right now Narcor in the lead. Got the world record. And also leading this first round. So he's looking pretty solid. May see him reaching the very last round as well. And then Kilburn right now at second. Also looking good here in the first round. Supernoob at third. Staroid at fourth place. Tom at fifth. And Zombie now up to sixth place. Passing Chaos Hand. Actually, it was the front of Chaos Hand already. Sorrow is dropping down. He's dropped down to 8th place with that. Lars now up to 12th. And Natella has dropped down to 10th place. That's, as I was explaining, that's how quickly it can change in this format. So Natella now getting eliminated together with Marius89, who is not too far behind Natella. Where's Lars? Alright, Lars now on a bit safer grounds at 9th place. See if he can keep that position. Here's Chaos Hand and Sorrow. But yeah, one respawn from one of the players at the top could change everything, as we see also Tom together with Chaos Hand and Zombie going for the water bounce. See if we can estimate how far ahead Lars is of Natella. Lars 409 in the 15th checkpoint. And Natella 416, so he's 7 seconds behind. We can see Lars actually in the distance there. So still a hope maybe for Lars, or for Natella at least. Marius89 though, I'm not so sure about after his what looks to have been 2 respawns in the start of the round. That may have been too much. Let's go to Lars, see if he can avoid having any respawns here. Narcor also getting closer to the finish there, to the left. It's already through the second water bounce. As Lars will reach the next checkpoint. This might be it now, because the ending isn't too challenging as long as Lars has a good trajectory through the jump in the end. Narcor will take first place in the meantime, and here is Lars. I think that looks... Actually, no. That's gonna be... Oh, What? What happened? He just fell through the water. What happened there? And where is the other players? That is the question now. Oh, actually, Chaos Hand has gone down to 10th place. Marius89 suddenly up to 9th. What's going on here? Couple of flubs from the players in the end, and suddenly Marius89 looks to be surviving this round. He was dead last through the whole round, but somehow Marius89 will get through to the next one. Chaos Hand is eliminated together with Nutella. Wow. Did not see that coming. And what happened to Lars when he hit the water? That looked really odd to me. He just went through it and touched the bottom of the water, so I don't know. Never seen that before. So yeah, that's gonna be it. 2 players are eliminated. It's Nutella and Chaos Hand. And we are starting the next round. See if Marius89 can get through the start now. Looks like he will. Yes, a much better start now for Marius89, who I'm sure did not expect to get through that round. And it's still the last 2 players that will get eliminated until we reach top 4. Right now it's Staroid and Marius89 at the bottom. So Marius89 continues to live dangerously here. But at least a much better start than the previous round. Sorrow will lose a bit of speed as he goes up the rocks. But still keeping pretty good pace. Narcor in the lead once again. Looks to be very strong on this map. Oh, as Sorrow then hits the pillar. Oh, and falls on his back! And is forced to respawn. That is pretty costly. Forced to respawn again because he wouldn't have enough speed to make it to the other side. Tom has also respawned. So right now those 2 players seems to be the ones facing elimination. Marius89 went through that part. Yes, he did. So he is up to 6th place with that. Would be convenient actually to see the positions to the left. But yeah, Marius89 on safe ground right now. Kilburn in the lead, so Narcor dropping down as Kilburn then gets stuck. Still though keeping his first place in front of Zombie. Then we have Supernoob at 3rd place, Narcor down to 4th even. Oh, actually he's up to 3rd again. With Supernoob just behind him. Lars then up next. Followed by Marius89. Staroid then at the next position. And then Tom at 2nd to last. And Sorrow at last place. Still a pretty close round, I would say. Oh yeah, that's right. It's an odd number of players. That's right. So we will go to top 5. And then we'll switch to only 1 player. For some reason I thought there was top 10 in my brain. But no, it's top 11. Uneven number, so that means we'll reach top 5 and then we'll switch to only 1 player getting eliminated. Thanks for the correction. Oh, as Sorrow then falls down. But the respawn is close by, so he won't lose too much time from it. Still facing elimination though, together with Tom, who did pass him with that. Oh wow. That was an aggressive entry by Tom. I guess he knew that the checkpoint was right at the entry though. And Lars is the one that Tom will have to try and catch up to, but not anymore because Staroid is now down to last place. Sorrow still though facing elimination, but Tom is on safe grounds for now. And the thing about this format is that it's very hard to keep track of the results through these rounds. But I'll do my best. So right now Staroid and Sorrow facing elimination. Tom closest one to also be eliminated, and he's actually not very far in front of Staroid at all. Seems to only be a couple of seconds, yes. So this could still go Staroid's way and also Sorrow's way, to be honest. He's not far behind either. So we go for the water bounce. Narcor in the meantime up to first place again. Supernoob at second, Kilburn at third, Zombie at fourth, Morris89 at fifth, Lars at sixth, Tom at seventh, Storoid at eighth, and Sorrow at ninth place. There's not that much left to be played of this round. Ooh, great landing from Sorrow. Caught up a bit there to Storoid. Seems to be between these three players. Two of them will be eliminated unless we see drastic changes here at the end, which we did see in the previous round. Narcor and Kilburn through to the next round, so is Supernoob. Will we see a respawn at the end? Lars has actually respawned. Lars suddenly dead last, and Zombie has also respawned. What's going on here at the end? And suddenly Tom, Storoid and Sorrow will all survive the next or this round and advance to the next round. Oh, wait a minute. No, Sorrow falls down and he's forced to respawn. Did anyone pass him? Nope, doesn't look like it, so Sorrow will still qualify if he can get through that part in his second attempt. Zombie not too far behind, but it looks like it's not gonna be enough. Here is Sorrow, and this time he will get through, so we'll be able to qualify to the next round. But I don't know what's going on with the end. So many respawns. So I guess even if you're far behind, you shouldn't really give up until the very end. So Lars and Zombie eliminated in this round. So we are down to 7 players now, I believe. Narcor, Kilburn, Storoid, Supernoob, Morris89, Sorrow and Tom. And this will be the last round where 2 players will get eliminated as Chaosand has a really... Actually no, Chaosand is already eliminated, right? I think so. Storoid though has respawned. So let's switch to him instead. And it seems like he respawned very late. That's gonna cost him quite a lot of time. Off to a bad start. Yes, and he respawns again. And then Tom is also right now out, but as you can see, it's not far behind the other players. Oh, as Morris89 is now... Oh, but no more, because he got a lot of speed here over the rocks. And will pass Tom. This goes through or over the ramp. Will also pass Sorrow. So he descends down the rocks. Looked like a bit of an awkward landing, but able to continue on. So we got Storoid very far behind. This is looking like it might be it already. But keep in mind, we've seen some crazy stuff going on at the end of the map. So even though Storoid is far behind, he could still potentially make it. And then Sorrow seems to be also knocked out right now. No, not anymore. Morris89 is actually behind him. Yep. So Morris89 down to 6th place. Where's Storoid? Catching up a bit to Morris89 at least, but that's not really what he wants. Sorrow now on safe grounds at 5th place. Kilburn and Supernoob, the 2 players that took 1st and 2nd in the last Nightcup, still in this Nightcup as well. Would be kind of cool if we saw the repeat. No one's really close to Sorrow. Morris89 I believe, let's see here, he is 7 seconds behind Sorrow right now. So not looking too good for Morris89, but the same was said in the very first round. And I think he was even further behind then, so still could be possible for Marius89 to make it through another round. And here is Staroid at last place after his really rocky start. How far ahead is Sorrow of Marius89 now? He may not be as much ahead anymore. It looks like Marius actually caught up quite a lot. Yes, he's now only 4 seconds behind. Good section there for Marius89. On the hunt. As he hits the wall, that's gonna lose him a bit of time. We see a reverse booster there that players drive over. It's very important that you have enough speed as you drive over that one. Sorrow keeping the distance. It's about the same, I believe. Let's see here. Oh, it's more actually. 5 seconds now between the two players. Sorrow keeping a good pace through that difficult part as well. Can Marius as well get through it? Yes, he will. So he's still got hope alive. As Sorrow then goes for the water bounce at the top. Kilburn in the lead as he falls down. But he's actually, no, he's not keeping first place, but still looking pretty good though for Kilburn. Narcor now up in the lead. Super Noob, I believe, at second. Yes, and Kilburn down to third with that respawn, but still on safe grounds. Then Tom follows. Looks like he will also qualify. And seems like the big question here is if Sorrow will stay in front of Marius89 unless we see some respawns at the end. Here is Narcor. Looks good, so I think he's gonna make it. Here's Super Noob. Bit further behind, where's Kilburn? Just behind Super Noob. Can they make it through this part? Narcor is through, so he will qualify to the next round. Super Noob with a good landing. Here's Kilburn. I guess maybe they've been respawning here too, because we've seen a couple of examples of the players getting stuck. Super Noob though will not, and neither will Kilburn, so both those two players advancing. So is Tom, and let's see Sorrow, he is through the water bounce. Only one obstacle left here for Sorrow, and he is through. So Marius89 and Staroid will be eliminated this time. Pretty close round though. Staroid last place with 543.30. It's a very high quality Nightcup, I think. It seems like lots of players have prepared well. Alright, so starting the next round, and now we are down to top 5, so that means only one player will get eliminated until we have one player left standing. Super Noob can still make it 2 in a row if he wins this Nightcup as well. Looks like Sorrow had a slow start together with Kilburn. As Eternity says that Marius is not out, but I'm pretty sure he is though. As Sorrow will respawn, but it was just before or after crossing that next checkpoint, so he's still within reach of the other players. But yeah, he's been living on the edge here for a couple of rounds now. Needs to try and keep a faster pace as he respawns again. Does not start off well for IGN Sorrow. Here's the other 4 players. Tom with an unfortunate bump. See if he can get over to the other side in his second attempt. Looks like he will. So it wasn't too big of a time loss. Still in front of Sorrow as well, although Sorrow did make it his first try, so he will catch up quite a lot here to Tom. Super Noob right now leading the pack together with Kilburn. Will we see the repeat? And Narcor, the world record holder, at 3rd place. Followed by Sorrow, still at... oh no, he's past Tom actually. Sorrow no longer at last place. Good section there. Alright, now Tom will have to try and make something happen, but this is still very close. Anything can happen. Let's enter the building. Sorrow hits the side of the door, and that will allow Tom to pass him. Back and forth. Ooh, oh, Sorrow with too much speed lands on his back and is forced to respawn at the entry of this tunnel section as he hits the side of the tunnel and will have to respawn again. He did such a good job catching up to Tom, but now it looks like it might have been all in vain for Sorrow. That's gonna put him, I think, over 10 seconds behind Tom, maybe even more. And at the top, Kilburn, Supernoob and Norker still close to each other. They are now far ahead of Tom and Sorrow. A clear gap between these players. See how far ahead Tom is. 304.99 in the 12th checkpoint. And see Sorrow still haven't reached that checkpoint. Now he will. 329 by Sorrow. Yep, that's that may be too much of a time difference. Tom will have to flub that ending like he's never flubbed it before if he's gonna lose this this round. If he plays on the result here, can of course take it pretty safe as he then hits the wall there. But not too big of a time loss for Tom. Norker, the risky landing, but able to make it. He's now up to first place. Supernoob at second. Not sure what happened here. He's gonna allow Kilburn to pass him. But of course, these players, all they need to focus on is to not respawn, as Kilburn almost fell down again at those rocks. He's maybe taking it a bit too risky, having too much speed, but makes it through to the next checkpoint, so that should be it. Here's Tom, still doing well. Yes, he is still. And here is Sorrow, still very far behind. Alright, let's go to Norker. He only got the last part left. Can get stuck here, as we've seen evidence of, but Norker will get through. And here is Supernoob, as Norker has a really fast time, a new Dedimania record in rounds mode. 5 minutes 71 hundredths by Norker. Supernoob also finishing, and so will Kilburn. And where is Tom? Here he is. Still far ahead of Sorrow. Unless he gets stuck, he should qualify. And Tom will make no mistakes, as he also has no hurry to finish this round. Gotta be careful though. Don't wanna take it too far, because then Sorrow may still pass him. But Tom will finish as well. And what a round, to be honest. Very good times from Norker and also Supernoob and Kilburn. Tom slowing down in the end, but still setting a decent time. And we are down to top 4 now. Norker, Kilburn, Supernoob, and Tom. Only one player can win this Nightcup. And we still got Supernoob and Kilburn left in the race. The two players that battled for first place in the previous Nightcup. Supernoob then won it with just a few hundreds in an amazing last round. And now we see the two players up in the lead as well. Tom and Norker a bit behind. Norker though has been looking pretty strong, so he should perhaps be regarded as the favorite based on that. At the same time though, I'm not so sure if I've seen him play too much in the Nightcup before. See if he can handle the pressure of these last rounds, as Tom again falls behind the others in the start. Oh, Supernoob then Must have hit the wall before climbing the rocks. Always need to make sure that you have good speed as you go uphill. It's very, very key. Narkor gains 2 positions up to second. Kilburn, no! Kilburn no longer at first! Kilburn with the respawn. And all of a sudden, Supernoob and Kilburn now down to the bottom. With Kilburn facing elimination. Here is Narkor now up to first place. Gets through first attempt. Also Tom. Let's see, Supernoob, yes, good as well. And also for Kilburn. Still anyone's round. We have 2 Polish players actually, I realized. Both Narkor and Tom playing for Mad Drivers, and from Poland, Supernoob from Norway, and then Kilburn from Germany. You see the distance here between Kilburn and Supernoob as they go for some different routes. Kilburn going more to the right, taking the stairs on the other side. Alright, here's the tunnel entry. It's a bit tricky because you gotta make sure that you don't have too much speed or too little speed. Gotta have just the right amount to make it into the tunnel. Kilburn maybe gaining slightly here on Supernoob. Let's go to Narkor. This goes down the stairs, still in the lead. Still looking good, and also for Tom at second place. Oh, Supernoob almost didn't have enough speed. That's gonna allow Kilburn to now also pass him. Oh, as Tom then gets stuck here in the underground section. This is really close now. Supernoob may have respawned there, I'm not sure. Suddenly he is a couple of seconds behind. Narkor now with a pretty big gap between himself and the other 3 players. It looks like Narkor may survive another round. And Supernoob, the previous winner, right now facing elimination. Can he catch up? Tom is the one that's closest, but he's been able to build up quite the lead here. Let's see here in the checkpoints how far behind Supernoob is. He is 6 seconds behind. It's still doable for Supernoob, but he needs to have a very strong finish. That much is clear. As we enter the first water bounce. Kilburn at second in front of Tom. Supernoob entering the water bounce now. Has he gained anything on Tom? He may actually have. I think he may have caught up a few seconds. But he needs to keep on pushing here if he wants to survive this round. Narkor reaching the next checkpoint, looking very solid in this round as well. Kilburn has respawned I think a couple of times, but this time will reach the checkpoint, so he is also true. And let's see about Tom, also reaching it, and where is Supernoob? He's still far behind. Supernoob needs to go for some massive risks here in the end. I'm not even sure if it's possible to take any risks here in the end. Tom will have to miss the landing here, I think. That's the only chance. Here we go. Narkor is true, and Kilburn looks to also be true. Can Tom eliminate Supernoob? 5:01.35 by Narkor. Another really good time. Kilburn also true, and here is Tom. Also true, the last obstacle. Supernoob is eliminated. 5:10.43 by Kilburn, 5:16.36 by Tom, and 5:24.35 by Supernoob. Not enough this time, will take 4th place. And we have 3 players left in this Nightcup. Narkor, Tom, and Kilburn. Tom and Narkor have not won the Nightcup before. I don't think they've even been top 3, although I could be wrong about that. Kilburn though, has been on the podium the most amount of times out of anyone else with 6 appearances. And he's won the Nightcup once. This could be his second win. As we are live into the next round, Tom down to 3rd place. Once again, finds himself in a tricky situation here in the start, but not too bad though. He's still within reach of Kilburn and also Narkor. Over the bridge. Tom's best time, 5:16.36, what he did in the previous round when he needed it the most. Narkor has been able to set a couple of low 5-minute times in a row now, which is very, very impressive considering the difficulty of this map. A lot of bouncy surfaces, as you can see. But he makes it happen and makes it look easy as well. Kilburn getting stuck as he goes for his alternative route. We see both Narkor and Tom not going for it, as Tom then falls on his back and he lands down the water, forced to respawn. Writes RIP in the chat, and that might be it for Tom. I think he could still get back though, because of what we've seen in the end from past rounds. But yeah, that's very, very costly for Tom. It looks like we may have our 2 finalists, Narkor and Kilburn. And they can take it very safe, of course, through this round. Kilburn's best time, 5:05.01. If Narkor keeps on driving as impressively as he's done so far, then Kilburn may have to lower that time in the upcoming final round. Still though, very impressive by Kilburn to reach the final round for the 2nd Nightcup in a row. Just further confirms that he is a very, very good RPG player. Narkor still looking like the big favorite. Where is Tom? He's still driving at least. So he hasn't given up, but he is still 1 checkpoint behind Kilburn at 2nd place. So his only hope really is that either Narkor or Kilburn will have a very costly respawn in the end, but otherwise it does look like these 2 players will be our 2 finalists. And I'm also curious if we'll see a very close final round, as we've seen it in the last 2 previous Nightcups. Bren versus Clem in edition 11, and then Supernoob versus Kilburn in edition 12. Would be cool if we could make it a triple, but it's not really, I guess, the norm for these kind of maps, because so much can happen that can cost a player a lot of time. The smallest mistake can have huge consequences. As we have Narkor and Kilburn getting closer to the end. Narkor actually respawning. Was not able to make that jump. He may have gotten a landing bug. He's still quite far ahead of Tom though, but if he respawns again, that might be another question. Let's see, Narkor's 2nd attempt, and this time he will have enough speed to make it. But yeah, that is a bit scary, I'm sure, for Narkor getting that landing bug. So Kilburn will take over 1st place, drops down to the checkpoint. And maybe able to build up a bit of confidence winning this round. For the last round that's coming up very soon. Here's the water bounce for Kilburn. Will do it well, and Narkor still with a big gap down to Tom. If he respawns twice maybe in the end, he could still lose this 2nd place. But I think he knows the track too well for that to happen. Kilburn with a really good time, 5:03.29. So yeah, he's putting on a bit of pressure here on Narkor. It's not gonna be a walk in the park, that's for sure, as Narkor will also squeeze in and enter the last stretch before the finish. So we have our two finalists, Kilburn and Narkor. Tom will take third place in this Nightcup, still a very good result. So here we go. One more round remains of the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 13. Narkor versus Kilburn. Kilburn in the last round for the second Nightcup in a row. Trying to win the Nightcup for the second time in history. And this will of course still already be his 7th appearance in the top 3. So this is already a really good result for Kilburn. But here we go. Live into the final round. Narkor versus Kilburn. Kilburn will pass Narkor, who hits the rock. But it's still neck and neck, only a few hundreds between the players. As we descends down the rocks and enter the smallest balance act. Narkor with much more speed than Kilburn, up in the lead again. Both players capable of setting low 5-minute times. And actually, before Narkor respawned in that previous round, I think he was under 5 minutes, because he was quite far ahead of Kilburn, who then hits the side of the wall as he enters the outside again. You want good speed over this uphill here, so that's gonna cost Kilburn a bit of time, as he lands way too much to the left there. Narkor able to build up the lead now. 4 or 5 seconds in front, I would say. Kilburn will go for the same route, but why? Why? He should have gone for the other way, but perhaps he hadn't practiced it. Didn't feel confident enough that he could make it, so he had to turn back there and go for his normal route. But that's gonna put him now a couple of seconds behind of Narkor, who is on his way to win the Nightcup for the first time. In what I believe might be his first appearance as well in the Nightcup, but I could definitely be wrong about that. But yeah, right now Kilburn in a very good position. As we go through these long turns, first to the left and then up to the right. Narkor crossing the next checkpoint, 155.75. See what Kilburn will set, 201.42, so he is about 7 seconds behind. Not looking too good right now for Kilburn. But if Narkor gets that landing bug again, then everything might change. Entering the tunnel, Narkor doing no faults here at all. Kilburn also with a good entry to the tunnel. Still keeping a good pace. 230.54 by Narkor in the next checkpoint. How far behind will Kilburn be this time? He's about 7 seconds! As he then fell on his back, but he was able to reach the checkpoint at least. So he can continue driving on here with some hope left in his body. Oh, that was pretty awkward, but able to get through at least. Narkor now should be a couple of more seconds in front. As I get confirmation here in the chat that it is Narkor's first Nightcup. You should not chat though in-game, because that might distract the players. Unless they play without the HUD. Anyway, Narkor through these next couple of obstacles. That looked pretty good actually, so he may be able to add more time on his lead. Let's see here. The next checkpoint, 319.14. And Kilburn with 325.94, so Kilburn may have actually gained a second there. Bit surprising perhaps, as Narkor is now getting closer to that landing. I'm sure in the back of his head, he is a bit afraid of getting that landing bug for the second round in a row. That could be very costly. Let's see here. Entering the stretch. Here's the landing for Narkor. That should be good, I think. Oh, he hits the wall and he falls down! And Kilburn will pass him! Huge mistake there from Narkor! Did not even get the landing bug! And suddenly Kilburn now up in the lead! Very unfortunate there for Narkor. turned too early to the right. He had enough speed, but was not able to get over that jump. Kilburn now entering the next checkpoint in a winnable situation here. All that can make him lose this round is if he mistimes the ending completely, either by having a bad landing here in the water or by falling down in the very last obstacle. That looks good though for Kilburn. Let's see the landing here. Also looking good for Kilburn. One more obstacle left. Norcor too far behind. Here is Kilburn through the narrow section. No mistakes. Kilburn will win the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 13. And Norcor will have to settle for second place. Again, I think that landing bug was maybe in the back of his head as he entered that section again. He didn't get the landing bug, but unfortunately he turned a bit too early to the right. At least that is my my thoughts about it. I think that's what happened, and he wasn't able to keep himself at the top and was forced to respawn. Kilburn took advantage of the situation, passed him, made no mistakes of his own, and took home the win. So that's gonna be it for this Nightcup. Always a pleasure to cast this event. I really enjoy it. And we'll see when the next one will be. It's usually a bit of a longer break between the Nightcups because it's very difficult to find suitable maps for this kind of event. So we'll see when the next one will be, but hopefully I will be able to cast down as well. So before we go here, a summarize of the result. Kilburn will take the win. This is his second Nightcup win in total, making it his 7th time in the top 3. So Kilburn remains the best Nightcup player and perhaps also the best RPG player of them all. And then second place goes to Norcor, dominated this Nightcup, but in the last round was not able to take that first position. And then lastly, at third place, Tom took the final podium position in front of Super Noob. So that's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.